we're always working. When I'm not doing a television, you know, Masked Singer gets filmed like for a month in October, right? People always go, Joel, man, you're the busiest man in television. I'm like, do you realise how much free time I have? And I'm like, I am so free. But I love to fill those gaps by going and doing new material, doing this, doing that, writing scripts, trying my best to like write treatments and give it to people. I love to feel busy, so I fill those gaps. A lot of people might not fill those gaps, and that's absolutely fine too. But I really like love doing that. But like, it makes me laugh so much. Like, oh, you've got 2 television shows, man. You must be the busiest man in telly. It's like, man, that's 2 months of my year. You realise a year is 12 months, yeah?
It's when I think the perception of it, because it's out for like 6 or 8 weeks. And it's like, I think that's that old school mentality.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, are you filming these week in, week out? I remember once we done Masked Singer, and I went out on that Saturday. It was like a friend's birthday. And I think my friend's mum was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, well, what do you mean? She's like, it's on the telly, wasn't you? Yeah. And I was like, we filmed that 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
She goes, really? I thought you just come down from the set now. And you don't realise that, like, that there was a time in TV where it was like that and it was live. But I'm like, nah, man, we filmed that. She goes, I thought so. You look so different. I was like, yeah, man, I was fat. That was COVID times. I was eating the snacks at the side. Like, of course. But I think sometimes we're able to like disconnect from that world, but you still realize that there's a world out there that they still think that that's the way that TV is kind of made. So
it's a mad one with I know we keep talking about Masked Singer, but I've done this long enough now to realize, like that In With the Shout, Bring the Noise, that Sky show that was the thing that left, and you know, I've done so many other shows that have been like, this is my ticket. Impractical Jokers did 2 series on BBC Three. I was like, this is my thing. It's going to go on forever. Cancelled, right? And it just keeps. It's happened to me like maybe 5 or 6 times, maybe more. But you think that's your ticket. That's my. This is me forever. And I've done so many different shows where it might be amazing and no one watches it, or it's shit and loads of people watch it and then it's cancelled because it's shit, and it's like whatever it is. I've done so many different shows and people don't watch them and it eventually gets cancelled or whatever. Masked Singer is so rare. Yeah. It is a real diamond in the rough, man. Oh, it is such a rarity to have a show that comes along out of fucking nowhere and families love it, kids love it. Yeah, man. Older people, like families together on a couch together watching, love it. Everyone who's making it love it.
I think in this era as well, where
so rare,
so much to compete with.
So rare.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, man.
And it's such, I know I keep saying that word, but it's such a privilege to be a part of that show. Yeah. But sometimes feels like the last fucking show in Saigon. You know, it's like the last one. You know, it feels so special. Yeah, yeah. And long may it last, man, because I just honestly just feel like I love working on it. I love that people love watching it. Yeah. And I just think Saturday Night Telly is just such pure entertainment vibes.
But it's like, you know when people talk about like it's British heritage, it's that show that's like, it's one of those shows that's like, I think you summed it up really nicely when we won at the BAFTAs, and you know, the press was like, oh, you know, you've won this now, and, you know, Strictly, you know, you beat Strictly, and you summed it up so nice because I was hyped. I don't know if you remember. So hyped. I forgot where I was.
I lost myself. Look at us.
I was at the BAFTAs, yeah, and I remember, I'll never forget it, where I think we went up to collect the award, and I remember at one point he was doing a speech. I said, thank you so much, and I'm hyped. Like I'm hyped, competitive hype. I'm like, at one point I was like, yeah, man, people weren't rating the show.
Yeah, you went.
Now we won.
You went in hard. You went in so hard. You went in so hard.
I know. I lost myself. I forgot where I was. I was like, okay, all right, let me just calm down. It's not boxing fight.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, man.
You turned it into like a weigh-in. You turned it into like this mad rap battle where like I was there going really like, thank you so much. I thanked all the commissioners on this amazing team. Thank you all so much. And then you grabbed my shoulder and you physically pushed me back. Physically, you were just like pushed me away. You went, I just want to fucking say, people didn't fucking believe in us, man. We didn't believe in us. Look at us now, motherfuckers. Like that's basically.
I really had to compose myself. Oh,
it
man.
was so funny.
It was that moment where I think we had to wait in the press room afterwards. And like everyone, you know, all the guys, all the rest of the Bandicoot team and stuff, they're like, so, like they're pumped, they're so hyped, innit? And I'm like hyping him up, and I was like, see, I told you, Derek, I told you, blood, about, what do you mean? I knew this was gonna happen. Didn't I say it? I said it. I said, what? We've won. And I remember like, it was beautiful, the way you summed it up was when they had all the press there, and it was like, you know, you beat Strictly, and you beat all these other shows, how does it feel? And I loved it where you said, look, without those shows, this show couldn't exist, and we need each other, innit? This is just the last piece. It's, do you know what I mean? The BAFTA doesn't define it. It helps the show, and it gives it credibility, but we all need each other, innit? And that was the moment when you said that, I was like, yeah. Namaste, because let me
That's
just,
what I should have said.
But it's true, because, and I've always thought that of the show, like, for me doing Saturday night TV and being just a small part of it is like, I've grown up with it. Do you know what I mean? Like a lot of us have. We've grown up with, you know, families sitting there like watching something that we film it in a block of like 2 to 3 weeks, and then realizing that some families, this is their escapism. This is, you know, this is the thing that there's, and even like when you hear stories of kids who come to the shows or people that watch it and they say, oh, you know, like my child's autistic and they love watching it because they love the colors and we sing it as a family. And that's the bit of the thing that you do that you take home and you're like, oh wow, like I didn't connect with it in that way because I'm used to going up and doing the job, but then seeing how people connect with it and you're like, oh wow, this is much bigger than I've kind of seen it for. Do you know what I mean? Not that you didn't before, but you're like, oh wow, this is like bringing families together. This is their escapism.
It's so important.
Do you know what I mean?
More than ever. You know, all the shit that's going on in the world, that moment where you can all sit together as a family